This is the final test of 41463, which is a Pioneer SX-1010. Pretty much have gone through the machine. Came in needing a great deal of work, and we've saved another one. This was one of the earliest super receivers. Um, Pioneer Beauty. I think it's like 110 watts a channel. So what we're going to do is we're going to run some tests. We're going to do a frequency response test. We're going to feed a laboratory generator, audio generator, into the auxiliary input. And I'm going to take the light off of this. This device over here, let's turn this down. That's probably better to see. That, with the two horizontal lines, is a dual trace oscilloscope. And what's going to happen is we're going to be able to view the left and the right channels, because listening to them over this medium, being the microphone, is not going to be a very accurate test. The oscilloscope test is going to be a very accurate test. And if I raise this up a little bit, as we view the oscilloscope on the left, above the second frequency counter, there's two little orange dots. That's the lowest range of a pretty handy device, audio analyzer, which is in parallel with the oscilloscope. And that's what we're going to use to measure the decibel levels in the frequency response. We're going to be able to see the waveforms, but it's much more accurate to actually measure the amplitude on that device. So what we're going to do is take the audio generator from the lowest frequency range, about 20 hertz. We probably won't be able to hear it on this microphone, but we'll be able to see it on the scope, and we'll be able to see it on the audio analyzer. And they're going to go up through the audio range. This machine pretty much is flat, maybe plus or minus a decibel or two across the whole audio range. So let's bring this back down here a little bit. And turn this on. And so what we have, you notice the oscilloscope, you have, I'm fighting this software, I hate it. I'm gonna zoom in on this. You'll see a sine wave, and the reason it looks choppy is because there's a strobe effect between the oscilloscope and the camera. As we increase the sine wave, that strobe effect will disappear. So I'm going to, and again, you can't hear this. I can't even hear it. It's about 20 hertz. But as we bring it up, you'll see the oscilloscope pattern change. See it changing. And make a liar out of me. It's still strobing. What I'm going to do is go up to a higher. There we go. Hopefully it stops strobing there. Yeah, there we go. That's nice. You may be able to actually hear that now. I can hear it here. But we're up to about, I don't know, 40, 50. Maybe that's about 80 or 90. I can't really see the display. That's 100 hertz. And we're going to keep going up the audio range here. And just watch these two levels right here on the analyzer, how they're pretty much frozen in place. They are not changing, and that's what we want. In fact, I can zoom in a little bit more to give a more accurate display. Let's go up here, see if we can get both the scope and, yeah, that's looking good. That's looking good. Okay, so again, keep watching these right here. And what we want is for them to not change in amplitude. And so I'm going to continue on with the scope. You may be able to hear that. what we're going to do is go to the next range on the generator, which starts at the highest frequency, and we'll just go down. Let me get that off of there. There we go. Let's bring it down. And this is going to go down to where we left off. And what we can do is change that sweep rate. Whoa. And we're going to go one more range up. Start at the very bottom here. Notice the amplitudes have not changed. This item is essentially flat across the entire audio spectrum. I don't know if you can still hear that. The frequency response of this mic probably doesn't go up into this range. We're about, oh, what is this now? Oh, that's about 6K. And we can change the sweep. Very nice sine waves. Very low distortion. We are now approaching the hearing range of bats and dogs. That's 15K. I could hear that when I was 9 years old, no longer. And let's just notice beautiful sine waves. See how far we can go before the amplitudes actually start to change. That right there is 20K. Very nice. What we're going to do now is do some FM. We don't have much of an FM antenna in the shop. The item is aligned using a Leader 3216 microprocessor controlled FM generator, audio RF generator. And so we're just going to hook this up to a very simple antenna that we have in the shop, a little dipole antenna. You guys call them T's. Nothing fancy here. If we had an outdoor antenna on the roof, we would get much better reception. But we'll do okay here. Hang on. We got some shit down. That's better. So we're going to go over to FM. And let's start at the top of the band here. And one of these is FM. There we go. So let's see what we can find here. Let's see if I can move this over a little bit so we can get. Yeah, we get Spain. Pretty good. One of these days. There we go. Here we go. What we want to look for is symmetry with the center tune meter. When we see the stereo lamp, we want stereo to kick in on the same degree off of center, coming from one direction, tuning up, like there. You can see the meter just on the edge. And on the top side, same thing, which shows a symmetrical passband for that. But anyways, let's leave Spain and continue on our journey. Hopefully that volume is adequate and you can hear it. Maybe I can turn it up a little louder. I just don't want it to overpower my voice. There's a weak station there. I think it's in Meriden, Connecticut. If we had an outdoor antenna, it would be fine.
And those threats should have included attacks on U.S. embassies. Period. Full stop.
Democratic Congresswoman and presidential candidate
is ready for you to experience the excitement of winter sports.
Wendy's, pay 2 faves, pay $5. Choose from 10-piece spicy or crispy
Now,
nugs.
let me turn
a
this down a
beef
little bit.
single or a spicy
The
chicken
astute
tender.
observer might say,
Wendy's
hey,
for $5,
why is the stereo
win, win,
beacon
win,
not
we
on?
gotcha. Price
That's because
participation,
this is
no
ESPN
US
Sport
Wendy's
Radio
available for
97.9,
limited time only
and they
at
broadcast in mono.
For all the latest headlines and
Okay.
information, tune to Sports Center on ESPN Radio. Well, after that.
Thank you
So big
for verifying my information.
Oh yeah, it's nationwide contest. That's a squad to 200-200. Pay your bills on all the hits. Kiss 95.
This is a pretty weak station. You notice the stereo switching multiplex on and off. Better antenna will have that in all the time.
Michael Harrington, SRN.
And a chance to win $1,000.
These stations on the low end of the dial are typically weaker college stations.
The concert will include selections from Broadway musicals preceded by...
Oh, that's nice. I think that's Trinity College in Hartford. And for some reason, even though that's a reasonably strong station, it is not triggering the stereo beacon.
Kate Payne of Iowa Public Radio says at least one of the candidates...
And that is the end of our test for today. This is now once again a beautifully performing receiver, one of Pioneer's early attempts at a super receiver, and speaks to the quality that still lives today. The end of our test.